Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from Money 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joining me for this segment, we have Malcolm deMayo, Vice President of Financial Services at NVIDIA, a Nasdaq 100 company, of course. We're here to discuss generative AI and its use cases in the financial services industry. Malcolm, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Thank you, Jill. It's a pleasure to be here.
You got it, and it's really interesting because last October we weren't talking about Gen AI as much as we are now because the conversation really started to come up in November 2022. What are some of the new opportunities that Gen AI can open up across the financial services industry?
It's a great question. So first, think of the value drivers. First is improving productivity. The second is improving operational efficiency. And the third is improving revenue growth, finding new revenue streams. And some of these opportunities, some of these use cases actually feed into all three of those. One of the most quickly adapted use cases to use generative AI to create code, generate code. You think about a programmer working together with a virtual programmer. They're creating code. Generative AI sees that code, understands, predicts what's needed, looks out in the open source archive and makes a recommendation. Hey, don't write this, it's already written, use it. So your programmer can become 20, 30, 40% more productive without hiring anyone else. So it's a great use case.
So when I think of generative AI, it seems almost very abstract. How are firms going to train these models to make it proprietary to them? Is that how they're going to leverage it?
Firms are looking at, firms across financial services are all looking at this very differently, but where we've been working with them, for example, with Bloomberg in the creation of Bloomberg GPT, they trained a model from scratch using a combination of publicly sourced data and proprietary Bloomberg financial data. And they achieved better results in the financial domain than any of the open source models. So there's a lot of experimentation taking place right now on creating models from scratch, custom training existing models, fine-tuning them, and we're going to see across the spectrum of financial firms a little bit of all of this.
I think one of the top conversations we've been having here is Gen AI is almost a recommender system for financial advisors and how they can better serve their clients. In what way do you think it will help financial advisors?
Well, I think first and foremost, taking a step back, generative AI could understand every product a financial firm, could be trained to understand every product a financial firm has. And when questions come in on products, it could answer those questions so that you're not, if these are simple questions, you're not burdening your wealth management staff with a non-advice, just a question, just a basic question. And then the second area is understanding your customer better, using all of the data you have in the firm, which is extensive, to build a better understanding of you as an individual, and being able to give advice that's personalized to you. That's how these models will be used. The third area is creating robo-advisors that are super that can do all of that as well. So, and you're going to see fintechs that are doing that today, like Wealth Manager, like Wealth Simple up in Canada. But at the end of the day, you're going to again see the spectrum of use cases for wealth management and for other sectors within financial services as well.
So it sounds to me it's not replacing your advisor, it's not replacing your wealth manager, it's
No.
helping them to get perhaps scenarios they haven't even thought of that exist.
Yeah.
And at the end, they are the ones making the decision in terms of how it fits into their client portfolio. I would also imagine that it's another tool for risk management. They're just scenarios that the human can't think of, whereas this predictive technology can. And then the advisor has more time to spend with the client, is what it sounds like to me.
That's right, and where AI really shines is where there's so much data and so much information a human couldn't possibly process it, and then it becomes an assistant to the wealth manager, an assistant to the banker, an assistant to the call center agent.
Yeah. All right, Malcolm, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.